The former president expected to turn himself in on Tuesday.
The specific charges he faces will be unsealed at his arraignment. Joining us this morning is Donald Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina. Joe, thank you so much for being on Good Day New York.
Thanks, Rosanna.
So, Joe, is Donald Trump really going to turn himself in on Tuesday? It seems like there's been a lot of misinformation out there. When will he actually surrender?
That's, likely Tuesday, but that's still being discussed and negotiated. And it's not just us and the district attorney. There's the Secret Service involved, Dennis Quirk's Court Officers Union, the NYPD. So this is an unprecedented thing and a situation that no one has ever seen before. So there are logistics that are being sort of discussed right now, but perhaps early next week. I think maybe Tuesday.
So it won't happen any earlier than Tuesday, right?
It will not.
Okay. Have you actually talked to the Manhattan DA about pending charges?
Susan Necklace has, but they've declined to tell us about the contents of the indictment until it's unsealed. Of course, we've read leaks that seem to happen every day in this case, where people are saying there are multiple counts, but it all relates to and is regarding the same central allegation, the resolution of a civil case by a legal civil settlement regarding the Stormy Daniels episode, if you will.
Well, we know it's all related, but how do you prepare a defense team when you don't have the actual charges yet?
Well, we know that it's the focus of the indictment is based on the alleged campaign finance law violation, which does not exist. I've said it many times. I'll repeat it again. It has to be premised on that for this to be a felony, and we have to go on what we've been told, which is it's about the Stormy Daniels. Michael Cohen negotiated civil settlement in a case where they're claiming that there was a campaign finance reporting obligation, which the FEC, Federal Election Committee, said there was not. Former Chairman Bradley Smith has been on many networks, including yours, saying it was not. The United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York declined to prosecute President Trump. So there's it's a case that I do not see how they make, which leads us to believe and make us understand that this is really about a political persecution, weaponizing of the justice system to pursue a political opponent. Look, rule of law has been really stretched in this case, and unfortunately for Americans, I think the rule of law today has died. And we should all be concerned about that, because today it's Donald Trump. Tomorrow it could be a Democrat, Rosanna Bianca. The day after it could be your brother, your sister, your son. Okay, and we have to understand the wide-reaching ramifications of what just happened yesterday, and I think we'll rue this day for many decades to come.
Oh, let's take a look at the future, though. We're talking about Trump's political campaign and what this means for it. We just heard our reporter Robert Moses saying that this could weaponize his base. They could put his mugshot on political posters and campaign posters. What does that look like for the future of this presidential campaign?
Look, guys, I'm a litigator. I'm a trial lawyer. I'm not a campaign strategist, certainly. I'm not a social media person. I don't advise or consult on that. I'm here, and I have a very narrowly focused job. That being said, what I've been seeing is that the more this the notion of this president being indicted, the first time in American history that a former president's indicted on a case like this, it seems to have driven his poll numbers up through the roof. So I think it's further solidifying the people who believe that he is being targeted by a political opponent and that the weaponization of the justice system is in full effect, as the House Judiciary Oversight Committee, led by James Jordan, has made requests of the District Attorney's Office, and they want his testimony. It's unbelievably extraordinary. I've never seen anything like this in my 32 years as a prosecutor, defense lawyer, and honestly, I hope never to see anything like it again.
Have you talked to Donald Trump? Did he sleep at all last night? Were you on the phone with him throughout the evening?
No, throughout the evening, no. And I assume he slept. I wasn't with him. But We did speak yesterday several times, and, you know, initially after getting over the shock of this actually coming to fruition, because we all are hoping that justice would prevail, the rule of law would mean something, then he buckled his belt and he, sturdied himself, and he is just a tough guy, and he's someone whose knees do not buckle, and he's ready to fight now. Now we're in a different posture, and look, this case is one that will not last. We will win this case, be it at the first stage, second or third stage, but this case will be eventually will be dismissed by hook or by crook, by judge or by jury.
So what exactly did Donald Trump say to you, and did he say that when he talks to his base, he's going to call for peaceful protests? Because we know he was calling for protests at some point.
Well, Rosanna, I can't get into what he said to me as a client. I can't do that, but I can tell you his mood was disappointment, shock, outrage, feeling to be a victim of political persecution, feeling that they're trying to influence the free election of this country. I mean, things in this country are happening now that's never happened before, and not just in Donald Trump's case, but when you look back in time, you see Nazi Germany, Communist China, Soviet Union, where they used to take political opponents and then find a crime. That's what this feels like, and that's what it feels like to him. But he's ready to go, and we'll deal with this.
No,
and we'll
what about the protests, Joe? Because I think, police officers are out there in force today.
Yeah, we hope, obviously, if anyone wants to protest, that as is their God-given right. The Boston Tea Party was a protest, right? That's how this country was founded, based on peaceful protest. That they're peaceful, that they're people who want to voice their opinions if they want to do that, but in a peaceful way. The president or any of us do not want there to be violent protests. I mean, that's the last thing, God forbid, we want. We don't want anyone to be hurt here. But if people want to speak their voice, they're more than entitled to. I mean, we know there'll be people on both sides of that aisle, trying to say something or speak up. But it has to be done in a peaceful way, because it'll be a scary scene. It really will be. And I hope it doesn't get to that point. So
Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, said he will not participate in any extradition of President Trump, former President Trump. Donald Trump is coming willingly, right, to New York City?
That is absolutely the plan. We're making those arrangements right now. Of course, it's not just us, Rosanna, and an airline company. There's Secret Services involved in this. So they have, a lot of input into how this works. This is, everyone doesn't know what to do. There's no playbook for this, right? There's no instruction manual. This has never happened before. So the Secret Services got to make these arrangements. First and foremost, they have to be sort of a lead point in this.
Gotcha. All right, so hopefully we won't have any more surprises, Joe, right? Because everybody thought that this indictment was not coming down
unbelievable.
Until after the holidays, right?
That was some head fake, I got to tell you.
So
I was in jeans and a T-shirt yesterday, unshaven, and boom.
So did they do that intentionally so everybody was off guard? Because obviously there was a leak from the Manhattan DA's office.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that's what happened. Exactly what happened was a head fake, and I don't know what the end game there was, but
yes, I'm saying you wonder why
from that office saying
why?
2 weeks, 4 weeks. I wonder why a lot about this case. There's a lot of things I wonder why about in this case, and that just adds to that pile that seems to keep growing.
Right. Thank you, Joe Tacopina, for talking with us. We appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye, Bianca. Bye, Rosanna.